Listen. That sound. It's unmistakable, isn't it? The metallic pop of a tin of tuna or salmon being opened. If you share your home with a cat, you know exactly what happens next. Within seconds, they appear, from the top of the cat tree where they were napping, from the sunny spot by the window, from seemingly nowhere at all. They weave between your legs, their tail held high. They vocalize. Those urgent, insistent meows seem to say, you know what that is, you know what I want. A moment ago, this cat was the picture of feline indifference. Aloof, independent, utterly unbothered by your existence. Now they are transformed, fixated, demanding, all because of a can of fish. It's a scene played out in millions of kitchens every day, and it raises a question that lingers, long after the can is empty and the cat is contentedly washing its whiskers. What is it about fish that triggers such a powerful response? If you asked most cat owners, they would give you a simple answer. Cats love fish because fish tastes good. It's flavorful. It's different from the monotonous crunch of dry kibble. We project our own gourmet preferences onto them. We assume they appreciate variety, the richness, the specialness of fish. After all, it's a treat, and our culture reinforces this idea at every turn. Think of Tom and Jerry, forever scheming for a bite of that perfect, gleaming fish. Think of countless cartoons, children's books, even advertising mascots. The image of a cat obsessing over a fish is deeply embedded in our collective imagination, so much so that we rarely stop to question it. It's just what cats do. They love fish. End of story. But is it really that simple? Is this obsession merely about flavor? Or is something far more ancient driving this behavior? The answer lies beneath the surface, in the chemistry of taste, the secrets of evolution, and the silent language of a predator's body. To understand why cats love fish, we first need to understand how cats taste. You have probably heard of the 5 basic tastes: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. Umami is the savory, meaty flavor, the taste of broths, aged cheeses, and slow-cooked meats. It is the flavor that signals protein. And for a cat, protein is everything. Cats are what biologists call obligate carnivores. Their bodies are designed to run on meat, and their taste buds reflect this. Unlike humans, who have a sweet tooth left over from our fruit-eating ancestors, cats lost their ability to taste sweetness long ago. But their umami receptors, those are exceptionally sensitive. Recent research into the feline genome has revealed something remarkable. Cats possess umami taste receptors that are uniquely tuned to detect specific compounds. Compounds found in high concentrations in fish. Compounds with names like inosine monophosphate and histidine. To a cat's brain, these chemicals are a signal. They say, high-quality protein, here, now. But it goes even deeper. In 2021, a team of researchers published a study in the journal Scientific Reports. They explored a taste sensation you may not have heard of. It is called kokumi, a Japanese word that translates roughly to rich taste or heartiness. Unlike basic tastes, kokumi does not create a flavor of its own. Instead, it enhances other tastes. It makes sweet things sweeter, salty things saltier, and umami things profoundly, deeply savory. In humans, a compound called glutathione triggers this sensation. It is found in garlic and meat. But in cats, the story is different. The researchers discovered that cats have a functional receptor for kokumi in their taste buds. And the most potent trigger for this receptor in cats is not glutathione at all. It is calcium. Calcium, a mineral abundant in the bones and tissues of small prey. A mineral found in whole fish, especially small fish, eaten bones and all. When a cat eats fish, it is not just tasting food. Its brain is receiving a complex chemical symphony. Umami signals saying protein. A kokumi signal saying rich, complete, nutrient-dense. The message is clear. This is exactly what I need. But this presents a puzzle. If you look at the cat's evolutionary history, fish should not be on the menu. Domestic cats trace their ancestry back to the African wildcat, Felis sylvestris libica, a desert species, an animal that would rarely, if ever, encounter fish in its natural habitat. So why would a desert creature evolve a taste for seafood? The answer lies not in where cats lived, but in how they lived. Over millions of years of strict carnivory, cats underwent a radical metabolic simplification. They lost the ability to synthesize many essential nutrients that other animals can produce on their own. Consider the work of James G. Morris, a nutrition researcher who spent decades studying feline metabolism. In a landmark paper published in 2002, Morris laid out what he called the idiosyncratic nutrient requirements of cats. Cats cannot produce their own taurine. Taurine is an amino acid essential for heart and eye health. They must obtain it directly from animal tissues. They cannot produce enough arginine. Arginine is another amino acid, crucial for removing ammonia from the body. A single meal without it can be fatal. They cannot convert beta-carotene from plants into vitamin A. They need the pre-formed vitamin found only in animal liver and fat. They cannot synthesize niacin from the amino acid tryptophan. As many other mammals do, they need it ready-made. The evolutionary logic here is elegant. Maintaining these synthetic pathways requires energy. It requires genetic machinery. For an omnivore eating a varied diet, that machinery is essential. But for an animal that eats only other animals, it is more efficient to simply delete the pathways and rely on the prey. And this is where fish enter the story. A whole fish with its muscle, its organs, its skin, its bones, is a complete nutrient package. It contains taurine. It contains arginine. It contains pre-formed vitamin A in the liver. It contains niacin. It contains calcium in the bones. Calcium that triggers that deep Kokumi sensation. The craving for fish at its core is a craving for what the cat's own body cannot make. So what does this mean when your cat comes running at the sound of a can opening? It is easy to call it gluttony. Easy to laugh at their urgency, their insistence. But there is something deeper happening. When that scent reaches your cat's nose, it does not just signal food available. It triggers something far more ancient. An instinctive message, written deep in the brainstem. Essential nutrients detected, taurine present, arginine available. This is what you need to survive. Consume now. This is why the response is so powerful, so urgent. So unlike your cat's usual dignified reserve, it is not a learned preference. It is not a matter of being spoiled or demanding. It is a hard-wired biological imperative. An echo of survival, passed down through millions of years of evolution. Your cat is not being dramatic. Your cat is being cat. And here is where something beautiful emerges. When you offer your cat fish, you are connecting with them on a level that goes far beyond the bowl. You are providing something deeply satisfying, not just to their taste buds, but to their body's most fundamental needs. You are, in a small way, recreating the experience of a successful hunt. The capture of a nutrient-rich prey that would have sustained their wild ancestors. This understanding transforms a simple feeding moment. It is no longer just about, my cat likes fish. It becomes something more. I am offering my companion exactly what their ancient biology craves. In that quiet moment, the can opening, the eager cat, the shared ritual, you are participating in a conversation. A conversation that began long before either of you existed. Between predator and prey. Between need and fulfillment. Between evolution and the present moment. But this powerful preference has a shadow side. Fish, especially oily fish like tuna and sardines, are rich in polyunsaturated fatty acids. These fats are vulnerable to oxidation. They can become rancid. To prevent this, the body requires adequate vitamin E. When a cat's diet becomes unbalanced, too much fish, not enough variety, it can lead to a vitamin E deficiency. And that deficiency can trigger a serious condition, feline pancreatitis, sometimes known as yellow fat disease. In 2003, a team of Portuguese researchers led by MNRE, NISA published a study examining this very issue. They described cats whose diets consisted largely of fish. Some of these cats showed no outward signs of illness at all. They seemed healthy, active, normal. But during routine surgeries, veterinarians discovered something alarming. Their body fat had turned a deep orange-brown. It was inflamed, necrotic, diseased. The condition can be silent, progressing unnoticed beneath a healthy exterior. Or it can present acutely, with painful nodules under the skin, fever, lethargy, refusal to move. A recent case report from 2025 described a 9-month-old cat fed primarily on tuna. The cat deteriorated rapidly and, despite intensive care, did not survive. The message here is not to avoid fish entirely. Fish remains a wonderful, biologically appropriate food for cats, but balance matters. Variety matters. High-quality commercial cat foods are typically supplemented with vitamin E and other antioxidants. They are safe for regular feeding. The danger lies in exclusive diets, especially homemade diets built around a single ingredient. A cat who eats nothing but tuna day after day is at risk. A cat who enjoys fish as part of a diverse, complete diet is not. As with so many things in life, the poison is in the dose. Listen again to that sound. It is still just a can opening. Still just a cat, appearing as if from nowhere, weaving between your legs. But now you know more. You know about umami receptors tuned to the compounds in fish, about the Kokumi sensation triggered by calcium in small bones, about the metabolic pathways cats lost over millions of years, and the nutrients they must find in prey. You know about medieval harbor towns in Oman and Iran, where archaeologists have found evidence of cats living alongside fishing communities, scavenging on the same catches their descendants crave today. That meow at your feet is not just a demand for food. It is the voice of millions of years of evolution, a voice that speaks of survival, of adaptation, of a bond with humans that stretches back to the first fishing villages. The next time your cat races to the kitchen at the scent of fish, pause for just a moment, listen, and recognize what you are hearing. It is not just a meow. It is history. It is biology. It is the echo of a wild ancestor speaking across millennia, right there in your kitchen. And you, by understanding, by offering, by caring, are part of that story too. If you would like to understand more about the hidden lives of the cats who share our homes, consider subscribing. We explore the psychology behind their behaviors, one quiet story at a time. Thank you for listening.